Tonight on The Night Team, the man shot by police late Friday night after wielding a knife at officers has now died of his injuries. What we know about the altercation. Plus a violent weekend in the metro that has left 5 people dead and 5 others injured.
Whenever there's violence, always remember this is not data. This is not two people that are affected, it's whole families.
We are hearing from city leaders addressing the slew of gun violence in Louisville. And later, Louisville boxing legends' legacies will live on in the city.
Greg would cry. He would honestly cry. He would say this really has been a long time coming.
What their dedication means to the Derby City. The WHAS11 Night Team starts right now. Our top story tonight, the man shot by police late Friday night has now died of his injuries. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Night Team. I'm Alex Dieterer. Police were called to Crawford Avenue right off Dixie Highway late Friday night. When officers arrived, they found a man wielding a knife threatening officers. Police say they made multiple attempts to get the man to drop the knife, including non-lethal options, but it didn't work. Ultimately, 3 officers fired at the man, hitting him multiple times, but the man still kept officers at bay with the knife. Eventually, police were able to get the knife away from the man, who was later transported to the hospital, and today we learned the man succumbed to his injuries. LMPD's Public Integrity Unit is handling the investigation. LMPD is also investigating a deadly shooting from overnight in the Okolona neighborhood. Police responded to the shooting just before midnight on Dunwoody Court, right off Preston Highway. You can see it right here. When officers arrived, they found a man who had been fatally shot. Anyone with information is encouraged to call the anonymous tip line. That number is 574-LMPD. And this is just the latest in what was a violent weekend across the metro. 7 separate shootings have 5 people dead and 5 others injured. The carnage began late Friday night with a shooting in the Taylorberry neighborhood. Throughout the rest of the night and into Sunday, the violence continued, including 4 people shot inside a club in the Southland Park neighborhood. Louisville's ABC is now issuing an emergency suspension of the club's ability to sell alcohol. Today, we spoke with Metro leaders about the violence.
This is not two people that are affected, it's whole families. And things happen in this community that ripple out for generation to generation. So continue to put down the guns, continue to, violence is not the answer. We're going to do everything as legislators that we can do. But my strong message is that it's got to stop, and it's a sober reminder. Hopefully this serves a reminder of who we are and what we can grow to be, and that violence is not the answer.
This year alone, there have been 161 shootings in Metro Louisville, leaving behind 184 victims. 57 people have been killed. Young people are the most impacted. More than 56% of victims of shootings are between the ages of 18 and 34. Today, the city honored 2 streets in downtown with the names of Louisville heavyweight champions. The first claimed the title over 100 years ago, and the second crossed paths with Muhammad Ali, as our Ian Hardwitt and photojournalist Aspen Hester discovered.
1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Greg Page Way meets Muhammad Ali Boulevard at 2nd Street, revealed by a neighbor who knew him well.
His father, his uncles, everybody played basketball in our yard, and Mom cooked for the whole crew.
But the 2 heavyweight champions crossed gloves much earlier in life.
When Greg sparred with Muhammad Ali when he was a teenager, Muhammad Ali kind of beat Greg up a little bit. I think he didn't want to be like Muhammad Ali no more. You know what I'm saying?
The Louisville defender described a 19-year-old Page as a sensation, speculating he would become yet another of Louisville's greatest. They were right. But Page's legacy is touched by tragedy, too. After his final fight in 2001, Page suffered a stroke that left half his body paralyzed. He sued because of a lack of medical staff on site, which led to improved safety regulations in Kentucky boxing and awarded him $1.2 million in damages. Page died 2 years after the settlement. Now, 15 years after his death, Page's boxing buddies feel his presence.
Greg Page, I know you're looking down on us, and you finally got what you deserve.
And they remember the names he gave them.
And he couldn't hit me, right? If they're going to trying to hit you like trying to hit a fly. So they stuck Tyrone to Fly Moore.
Fly Moore, a top 10 boxer back in Page's heyday, knew Page packed a champion's punch.
Every person who lives and comes through this city is a champion in their own right, And what Councilman Baker and I are wanting to do today is to create what we call Champions Row.
Champions Row begins at First and Muhammad Ali with Marvin Hart Way. He was the first of 4 heavyweight champions from Louisville, the most any city in the world has ever produced. Hart won his world title in 1905. Page followed in 1984. With this moment over 100 years in the making, the crowd hopes the fighters will inspire the next Louisville champion.
May these streets forever bear witness to the legacy of Marvin Hart and Greg Page. And may they serve as a reminder to all who's passed that within us lies the potential for greatness.
In Louisville, Ian Hardwick, WHAS 11, on your side.
Well, you have a chance to own a piece of history while supporting a local organization. Down Syndrome of Louisville is raffling off the pants worn by winning Oaks and Derby jockey Brian Hernandez Jr., featuring their logo right there on the pants.
And he really wanted to do something for our members. They brought such joy to him that evening, and so he called and said that he would like to be able to put our logo on his pants that he was wearing in the Oaks. And of course we thought it was really exciting, you know, but it's a historic Oaks and Derby anyway, and just would get us some notoriety. Had no idea what the weekend would bring, but it was pretty exciting.
Hernandez first reached out to the organization about wearing their logo after attending their Gallup Gala back in April. But no one could have imagined that Hernandez would then go on to be the winning jockey for both Oaks 150 and Derby 150.
We serve about 1,300 families in our region, and so many of them I know were jumping up and down in their living rooms or at the track, wherever they were. Many of them had winners on Derby Day too, because he was part of our family after wearing our logo, and so they bet again on Saturday, and he brought us all a winner.
For a chance to win the pants, you can buy a raffle ticket for $50. The winner will be announced on June 3rd at DSL's golf outing. All of the money raised from the raffle is going right back towards supporting Down Syndrome of Louisville's programs and the families they serve. You can find a link to buy a raffle ticket on our website, WHAS11.com. Well, a happy Mother's Day to all of the mom figures out there. Throughout the Derby City today, there were all kinds of ways to celebrate mom. Take a look. At Wayside Christian Mission, a special luncheon was held to honor mothers experiencing homelessness. The organization hosted the luncheon at the Grand Ballroom of Hotel Louisville. Each mom was given a handbag filled with gifts collected by the Kiwanis Club and several churches. Organizers say they wanted to honor all moms, letting them know how important they are to children.
Mothers have a tough job, and the best job they ever have is to raise the children. The most important job is to raise the children. And you know, it gets tough sometimes, especially if you're in a homeless shelter. And so we try to give them encouragement, and I love it when they come to these events and they just relax for a while, and we can show appreciation to them. And hopefully we're training those children too, so that they can, when they're not here, they'll know to show appreciation to their moms.
After the meal, moms were able to enjoy karaoke and line dancing, and door prizes were also given away. And several people across the Derby City treated mom to brunch today, including at Selena's. The restaurant offered a buffet-style brunch for moms, and it was a gorgeous day for brunch outdoors. Managers there tell us they love to celebrate all that moms do for our lives.
Yeah, today is always one of our best days of the year. It's one of the big three for us. We love to see all the mothers come out. We have a nice big buffet where we do all of our regular brunch food, and everybody comes out and just has a good time, enjoys the sunshine. Luckily, we got a beautiful day today. So, yeah, we always look forward to this. It's always a great weekend.
And of course, we here on the WHAS 11 Weekend Crew would love to celebrate our moms. Here is our editor, Tucker Schuff, and his mom, photojournalist Aspen Hester, and their mom right here, all dressed in some cute pink. Digital producer CJ Daniels and his family, and we all know how difficult it is to coordinate outfits, so props to them. There is me and my mama, love her very much. And then here is our producer, Dewey Jones, and his mother supporting the UK Blue. Our morning digital producer, Ariana Sergio, and her beautiful family. And then, of course, we have sports anchor Mason Horodisky and his mom, big sports fans over there. And then at the assignment desk, we have Kaylin Olson and her beautiful mom. We also have our reporter, Ian Hardwick, and his mom right here. And then last but certainly not least, we have photojournalist Addie Hill and her mother, and she went and visited her today after her shift. So again, thank you all for making us who we are, and happy Mother's Day.